So if you have a pretty good pump, it still might happen that it's producing a little bit noise according to its vibration. So first thing is that when you reduce the amount of water at the sucking side, the pump tends to get louder because of the friction created. So instead of reducing at the sucking side, I would always recommend to reduce at the pressure side, but even then you might cause the pump to get louder because it has to pump against resistance. So to avoid this effect that the pump gets louder when you reduce the amount of water, I would recommend to create a bypass. So if this would be the line going up to your water wall, then I would create a T where you have a special, where you have a valve at the end. So then the pump would be not reduced and therefore as silent as possible. And you regulate the amount of water which is going to the water wall by closing and opening this valve here. So if this valve is completely opened, then zero water will get up to your water wall. Then the pump will just pump all the water again in the tank. But if you close it completely, then you will have the 100% of the water reaching your surface. So this is how you would regulate the water by a pump which is at the bypass. And the good thing here is that you can use that also to create a filtering circulation. So if you put a filter here, then at the same time you can clean the water. But this is something which we will cover in the next topic. So let's assume you have already created a bypass, but your pump still has vibrations which cause noise. So first you should make sure, if this is your bottom tank, that the vibration of the bottom tank is not transported to the floor. So you might put some sponge or rubber below your bottom tank. But before you do that, the first thing you would do is to avoid that your pump is that the vibration of your pump is transported to your bottom tank. So you would put a sponge or a rubber below the pump so that the vibrations are not transported to the bottom tank, which then makes the noise louder as it is in its origin. So this is what you use. You use sponge to interrupt the transport of the vibration to the noise increasing parts of your system. And what you also have is that the vibration is then might be transported by your hose. So if you have a frame where your hose is put in, then the vibration of the pump will be transported by the hose to the frame, and then the frame again will transport the vibration to the bottom tank, and that might then go to the floor, etc. So in order to avoid the vibration to be transported by the hose, I would recommend to use those very, very soft silicone hoses. You just need small parts of them, as you can see here in this example. So this here is the pump, this is the pressure side, and before we connect the pressure side with the hoses which go into the frame and then have contact to vibrating parts, we use this soft hose made of silicone which will absorb the vibration so that they won't be transported here. And what you can see here also, we have a T, by the way, here in that example, which is then feeding a filter. So you will experience hearing the noise of a pump when you have a very small bottom tank. Then it's going to be more likely that you hear the noise of the pump, and then you would need to take such actions to avoid and remove the noise. And by the way, this is a very silent pump from Royal Exclusive, which you will find in my recommendations, and it also has rubber feet, so it's specially made to be very silent, so that the vibration is not transported to the surrounding.